your girl Wavy here, and welcome back, Wavy Family. I'm back with another mental health checkup, and today I'm gonna be talking about what my life has been for the past couple of months now, and also just kind of giving y'all a little bit of a personal life update and how it's been being a Black woman in the military. So without further ado, I'm gonna start off by saying how I've been feeling mentally lately for these past couple of months. So I know that I've been talking to you guys about what I was gonna do with my life and how I've been trying to de-stress myself. And honestly, I actually went to therapy for a while. So that was for my own personal reasons. So I won't really get into what I went into therapy for, but I can say that my therapist, she has helped me grow within those amount of periods of months that I've been going to therapy. And she's guided me a very long way, and I would say I'm proud of myself for having her as a therapist. She's like one of the best therapists I've ever had since I was a kid, because I've been going to therapy for quite a while now. It's just going through certain stages of my life where I had either the same therapist or I just went to find a therapist on my own. But overall, I just feel very at peace with myself because I had to do a lot of self-reflection in myself and not to worry about why certain people didn't want to be a part of my life, why certain people were just kind of fake in a way. But overall, I just know that with her help and just with me working hard on myself, I wouldn't have been actually the woman that I am right now. So I feel like going to therapy is not always bad, because I feel like going to therapy is there to help you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So in my opinion, I feel like everybody should have that type of mental self-care within themselves to go to therapy, because it's not always bad. You don't have to go to therapy because you're going through something or you're dealing with grief or you're just not mentally there. But I feel like therapy is meant for everybody who's willing to work hard on themselves. So that's a little bit update about that. And I recently got promoted, so I'll show y'all a picture here. I got promoted and I didn't even know, so that's why that picture looks very awkward, because I really did not know I was getting promoted to another rank. And I actually am kind of just cool with it. I mean, I didn't really expect it to move up that early in my military career, so I feel like that's a pat on the back, you know what I'm saying? And also, I am working on getting my CCAF, so it's like the AA degree in the Air Force military. So I figured, why not get another degree and just take those 2 extra classes that I needed to have, since my school didn't really provide those type of classes. I feel like those are more of a military type class, but I know I'm gonna pass those 2 classes with flying colors, so be on the lookout for that, because your girl gonna have another degree this year. So I'm really excited about that, because I feel like education, no one can take that away from you, whether it's a trade or a degree or certification. You have that paper and you worked hard for it, and you get extra money for that too. So I can't wait to start on my CCAF this year, and I'm just really excited on what other educational ventures that I'm going into, because I feel like education, that's something that you should always have, because that can always be your backup plan. Whether you want to be an entrepreneur or just even a content creator, you always have something else to back you up on. So when I get my CCAF, I'm gonna be another stepping stone, because I feel like I'm not gonna make this military career my whole life, so I figured, why not? Because it's free, and it's just another educational thing that I could have under my belt. And also, I am looking forward to applying to a lot of med schools this year. So I actually want to get into the pharmacy program, and I just figured, why not just try out this year? So I know I have probably about 2 prereqs that I have to take before I even get into the medical program that I want to go into, which is actually pharmacy. Send me some good luck out there, because I'm trying to go to FAMU, and also I'm trying to go into actually some of the schools in Florida, like the University of Miami, that's a good pharmacy program, and TSU, which is located in Texas. So I figured, why not apply for these 3 colleges and just see what happens, because you never know. And I actually want to become a pharmacist when I get out the military. So that's gonna be my next journey that you guys are gonna see a little bit. And also, I was blessed to actually get a new job within my subdivision in my career field, which is working at the visitor center. So I know that some of you guys may know or may not know what that job is, but I make sure that any visitors that come on base have a certain, qualifications that are allowed to go on base, or whether they're like distinguished visitors, like commanders or generals or honorary commanders, so stuff like that. And I've just been working hard to make sure that I am the best that I am when it comes to that job. So I'm very proud of myself that I got accepted into that job. What I'm gonna get started with is what it's like being a woman of color, specifically a Black woman in the military. So my job is security forces. So I am in a very male dominant career field, whether it is the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, and the Marine, or Coast Guard. Security forces, also known as military police, that is a very male dominant job. It doesn't matter what branch you're in. Being in that type of job is also a white male dominant job. That is also another thing that I have to look out for, because when you are a small minority and you are a woman in a male dominant job, you kind of get looked at under a microscope very easily, because not only you're going to stand out by your gender, but you're also going to stand out because of what your cultural background is. My experience is that a lot of people could easily take criticism just based off your physical appearance. Now, I'm not specifically saying that I've dealt with, certain discriminations based on like my physical appearance, but more so about my hair. I could have my hair dyed blonde and I could get criticized for that. But now, since we have new regulations that goes for anybody, I can actually dye my hair blonde now. So that's just like another thing, like hair color, the type of hairstyles, it's also kind of like difficult for, me to make sure that I am keeping up with my physical appearance and making sure that I am not falling out of any other regs for my hair. So I would say that was kind of like a hard thing to look at, because I kept my regs printed and highlighted just to make sure that I wasn't breaking any rules, and I knew that I could back it up every time somebody thought they were going to give me paperwork for it. I will say that for the women who are going to be joining any military branch or just any jobs in general, make sure you look at every rules and regulations when it comes to hair and physical appearance, because people think that you aren't going to follow the rules because certain hairstyles are too eccentric or it's not deemed as professional. But it can go either way, whether it's a certain braid hairstyle or a certain locked hairstyle that's deemed as unprofessional. As long as you have your rules and regulations and it's following your favor, you have nothing to worry about. That was one of the main things I dealt with when I first joined the military, was my hair. And I figured, since I had it cut all off, I thought that everything was gonna be fine, because once you got your hair cut, you can't really do anything else with your hair besides either dyeing it, but you cannot have a design cut on your head. So that's one thing to look out for, ladies. Do not get any type of parts on your hair when it comes to haircuts, but you can dye your hair. I just know that once I found out those regulations, I made sure that I asked my fellow mentors who are actual higher ranking master sergeants and certain officers. So with them having my back when it came to those rules and regulations, when it came to physical appearance and hair, that really gave me an extra boost of confidence to make sure that I am not only getting called out for a certain hairstyle that may be simple in my culture, but may cause a nuisance in the military life. I can say that something like that could just be so small and minute, but it can actually cause a major controversy for whatever reason. It doesn't even matter what job you're in. It's just that certain people just think they can just minuscule you or just be a little bit pesky about it, but just don't let that get to you, because that's just another way of them putting a certain stereotypical character on you when that's not the truth. Also, when it came to working the career field, I realized I had to actually work harder than most of my peers out here in this career field. So I could possibly like go up for a different job, and if another person had been more involved with the, you know, squadron or the job area where I worked at, but if they just had like certain work qualities and no like volunteer bullies, but everybody liked that person, most likely that other person is going to get the job based on someone who was qualified enough, they had all the work experience they had, all the volunteering opportunities they had, and also education under their belt. But if they're considered or just deemed as a nobody in the job field, then you're most likely going to get pushed under the rug and not even thought of for the next couple of months or even just years. And that can also be deemed very difficult into moving up in ranking for this job field. So it's basically like you have to put yourself out there. So it's kind of like a popularity contest, and also not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but like a pissing contest. So it's like if you're not buddy with certain groups of men in the career field, it kind of puts your experiences and your, you know, actual work qualities that you're qualified for, it kind of puts you down in a lower ranking when it comes to that. So I can say that I am mindful of like what all I put in my effort and work thoughts into, because I know that sometimes it can just be a damper on certain people. Like a lot of men in this job career field think that if a certain woman is deemed a certain back office job, they did certain sexual favors. Now that is disrespectful to put someone out there like that and just start spreading rumors, but you know, it's just jealousy. You know, certain men just think they can say or talk about how certain people are qualified for certain jobs, but putting that type of, you know, character flaw on someone, that's just very disrespectful, because, you know, they got mad because they didn't get the job, but a particular woman got the job. It didn't matter what her race was. So that was just something that I saw when I first went into the military career field, and I just thought like, man, like, I'm thinking this is supposed to be professional, but you know, it is what it is, just the luck of the draw, you know, when it comes to the actual base and even location of where you get stationed at, because you will get a lot of men that are jealous when it comes to people. When I mean people, I mean women get a better job offer than them. So it's not even about like who's more qualified than who, and it's just, you know, it's just a big hot mess, y'all. Without saying too much, but without saying like too little for y'all to give an insight, but I didn't have that problem when it came to my job position. I just lucked up on being the only person who applied for the job and actually put in the effort to create a resume to even get into this job. I just know that when it comes to the military, there are going to be a lot of people who will try to bring you down just because you're a woman. I don't know why that's like the whole spiel when it comes to military, but I can say that that is also another way of you to just fuel that fire and just motivate yourself, because there will be a lot of people, whether it's men or women, that are going to be jealous about how you get these opportunities and why they didn't get these opportunities themselves. So I can say that my advice to like any woman who joins the military career field, whether it's just any branch, just focus on yourself, because if you keep feeding into like rumors and other like drama that's around your career field that you choose to be in, you're gonna get stuck in a black hole, and it's not only gonna be a bunch of scandals and like, you know, other politics getting involved, but you could also get paperwork and investigated for that, because that happened a lot when I first got into this station here. So it was just a lot of drama. Like a lot of people were getting investigated, a lot of people were getting paperwork, and just a lot of people were feeding in false information into a situation that either A, that didn't happen, or B, they weren't involved with it. So I just feel like when it comes to your career field, just keep your work life and your personal life separate, and you will be very much happy within yourself. I know that can be hard because, you know, you have a work relationship and you have, you know, other personal relationships with your friends and your significant others. I feel as if, you know, keeping those separate will also help you excel in your career field. And that's just for any genders. It doesn't matter, like, you know, whether you're a man or a woman. I just feel like keeping those separate will also help you excel. And I did that myself because I'm very private with my life. The only people that knew about my personal business was my first shirt and my mentors. So I knew that I could trust them on helping me with any circumstances that I needed help with, and also a few of my good friends that are in the military as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little chit chat, or I guess little story time. It just kind of gives you guys a little bit of a background of how I am and how I function within the military as a woman of color, you know, specifically a Black woman in the military. And also I am in like one of the I guess top, if not the most #1 male dominant job in this career field. So I hope whoever is interested in this job as security forces, you guys know like what to look out for and what to focus on, because once you get into tech school, that's just only like the first part of the drama when it comes to joining security forces. So when you get to your first duty station, everything will unfold and you guys will be in for a ride, I'll tell you that. So I hope this guys give you a insight of how I navigate through this career field and also just being in the military. So I'll see y'all in the next little advice / story time. So I'll see you on the next mental check-in.